Hey guys, it is Tuesday, August 23rd. This is my final podcast stream for all of the things of my 3-episode series about our most common extension questions. So, to dive right in, today's question is, oh my God, I can't pay my taxes. What do I do? I'm out of time. Extensions are here. It is August 23rd, like I said. So we've either got September 15th where your business is due, or we're coming up on October 15th. You've delayed as long as you can. You've tried to save over the summer, but man, back to school supplies is expensive and you couldn't do it, and now you can't pay your taxes. What next? So, first and foremost, what I want to share is always file your tax return. We see a lot where somebody, whether they're self-preparing or whether they have a CPA and they just like freak out and don't sign anything, and they see their like, I don't know, $5,000 due and they can't pay it. And they go, oh my God, I can't pay it. So I'm just not going to file my tax return. Ding, ding, ding. They won't know. I won't have to pay. I can stall a little bit. And because if I don't file my taxes, they don't know. Do not do that. There are two different types of penalties. So if you miss the deadline, so if you miss the October 15th, or September is a whole different penalty. So if you miss the October 15th deadline, there is a failure to file penalty. That's a penalty that means you did not file your tax return, obviously, hence failure to file. In addition to that, there is a failure to pay penalty, which means you did not pay your taxes. You can have one, you can have both, you can have none. If you get both of those. So let's say you do both. You do not file your taxes because you freak out, and you also obviously do not pay your taxes. That means you're getting hit with both penalties: failure to file, failure to pay. Because your taxes, individual taxes, are due October 15th, that means that if you miss that deadline, both of those penalties automatically backdate to when this tax return, you missed the extension. So now it backdates to when they were due. So that's April 15th. So that means on October 16th, one day late, you automatically get hit with 6 months of both of those penalties. And then they keep going. So what I always tell people is file the tax return. There are options available for how to pay the taxes. But if you at least file the tax return, that means you're only getting hit with one of those penalties. You're only getting that not paying my taxes penalty, not that I didn't file my return penalty. So you're cutting your penalty down. Then once you file that tax return, you have to actually deal with it. So you can't file your taxes and then go, okay, I did what she told me to do. Now I'm going to wait for the IRS to show up on my doorstep in, 4 years to collect all of the penalties and stuff. No, now we need to resolve what you do. So obviously it depends on each person. It depends on where you're at cash flow wise. It depends on all kinds of things. And we do not like to just throw people in boxes. We like to have that conversation with you and see what's going on in your life. Are you trying to buy a house? Are you trying to sell a house? Are you starting a new business? Like, all these things influence the best way to pay a tax balance that you can't afford. But for sake of today's conversation, the simplest thing is, yes, you can do a payment plan. I feel like a lot of people know that, but I also get a lot of questions still from people who don't know that. So you can absolutely do a payment plan. They will let you pay your taxes over 72 months. And in most cases, as long as you don't owe like tons and tons, like as long as you don't owe like over $100,000, if we want to put that dollar value there, and you don't have an issue with prior years, it should be really straightforward to go on and set up that payment plan. Obviously, whatever you owe, if you owe $5,000 divided by 72 months, that's what your payment's going to be in the vast majority of cases. I'm talking about the people who owe for 2021. It's October of 2022. They're filing on time. We're not talking about the people that owe for 2018, 2019, 2021, 2020. Like, we're only talking about people 1 year at a time. Shouldn't be a problem. If you're doing that math, you divide it out by 72 and you go, oh my God, I still can't afford that. Whatever that monthly payment is, I can't do it. You have options too. They do income-based payment plans. That's what I like to call them. That's not the official term for them. It's called a partial pay payment plan. What it is an income-based payment plan. So it goes through a whole financial procedure to see where you're at and what you can actually afford to pay. Everybody has heard of offers in compromise. That's where you negotiate it down. To be really clear, on those, you have to actually not be able to pay. Like when you go through all your financial stuff, like it is just, you can't pay it. It can't just be that you don't want to pay it, that you've got a 401k you don't want to liquidate, or right now the thing we're seeing is you have a ton of equity in your house or something. Like you have to physically not be able to do it. It can't just be inconvenient or not the right time for you to do it. But there are lots of options for you. So again, my opinion is always file your tax return. And then after you file that tax return, meet with your tax preparer or call us if you don't have one, or if they don't specialize in that. So a lot of tax preparers don't know all these rules. They just want to do the taxes, which is fine. But reach out to the IRS on your own. Call somebody like us who can help you. Don't just file the return and never look back, because it will catch up with you and it will be a lot more expensive and a lot bigger of a headache than if you just resolve it right after it happens. So that is my 2 cents for today. So if you've been listening in, our first week was, we were talking about extensions, and my first week was, can I have another extension? If you have questions on that, go back and listen to it. The next one is, why did my balance go up from what I thought it was going to be when I actually filed? And today's, of course, was, oh my God, I still can't pay. What do I do now? So I hope you guys enjoyed listening in, and don't forget the deadline, September 15th and October 15th, because they are very, very quickly approaching. And if you have any questions, I would love to speak with you. Just give me a call, message me, or reach out to me via email or all of the ways. So have a great rest of your day. And I am sure that I'll talk to you on my next broadcast.